If you ship Luffy with Boa Hancock, or even ship him with Nami, that's all about to change, because today I'll show you. This is the only woman Luffy truly likes in One Piece. What's up, crew? Stay tuned until the end of this video. I'll reveal who truly deserves to be the future pirate queen. And remember, only the real ones drop a like right at the start of the video. Everything begins when Gold Roger kicks the bucket. And since you've probably seen that 1,000 times, let's skip it. On the ship of our beloved Straw Hat crew, they're all starving. And they're counting on their captain, who went to get more food, since he ate everything and left them with nothing. While they're all almost turning into Brook, their captain is just taking a nap, not caring about anyone. Meanwhile, some pirate who hasn't shaved since the Void Century is sailing toward an island to wreak havoc. Their ship almost runs over Luffy, who wakes up more startled than a dog when it hears fireworks. And he yells, "Use your turn signal, you son of a..." Meanwhile, on the island, someone is cooking potatoes with garlic, because they ran out of eggs ages ago, and no one bothered to buy more. The lookout, who looks like young nerd without glasses, spots pirate ships heading toward the island, and screams, "We're gonna die! Pirates are coming, everyone!" And since he's not Usopp, everyone starts to freak out. But then, this blonde girl decides it's way better to face pirates head-on than leave without her stuff, like someone saying, "I'd rather go down than hand over my phone to a thief." So, she grabs a sword and heads toward the enemies. Because this woman has channeled Zoro's spirit and swears she'll take them all on solo. Wait, have I seen this mayor before, or am I losing it? The girl named Silk says, "Let's go knock these guys out." And everyone else is like, "Go hunt some rats, girl." That's when she gets ticked off and calls everyone a bunch of cowards. To keep things from getting worse, they try to hold her back, but they take a few hits below the belt and end up defeated. And that's where they got the idea for the anime Dandadan. But as the ship gets closer, they notice someone who doesn't belong there. It's just Luffy inside, still grumbling about the place being deserted, complaining that there isn't even a bit of food. The pirate leader there is beyond furious, because he was tied up way too easily. Luffy says, "Shut up, dude. I just wanted some grub." And the guy with a mustache that could rival Mihawk's tells him to go eat somewhere else. And guess what? Luffy actually goes. He takes off like he's on a mission for food, almost as if he's about to explode, and heads to Silk's restaurant. But she thinks he's there to rob her, so she immediately pulls out a sword, ready to slice up some rubber. And man, she goes for Luffy's head, cutting it clean off. Learn from this, Buggy. The woman panics because she just wanted to scare him with a sword that big. Yeah, right. But Luffy totally fooled everyone here. And he just says, "Are you crazy, woman?" She freaks out, thinking his head grew back, and then asks if he came to rob her. But he says no, he just hitched a ride on the ship, and that his name is Luffy and he's a pirate. As soon as he mentions being a pirate, Silk tries to slice him up again. Is this her idea of scaring someone? She says, "Look here, buddy, nobody's stealing my phone. I'm still paying it off." And Luffy says, "Hold up. I just got separated from my crew." Then he panics and shouts, "You ruined my hat, you." Silk replies, "But that's just an old hat from my grandpa's time." To make up for it, she prepares a feast for him, and even fixes his hat. That right there won Luffy's heart. While he's devouring everything, even the tablecloth, Silk watches him with heart eyes, wanting to know more about the hat. Luffy explains that he got it from Shanks. Silk is shocked. "Shanks? The red-haired guy with the Chuck Norris stare. But you don't seem like much. Admit it, crew, you thought the same as Silk." Luffy says he's just looking for the One Piece, no big deal. And Silk's expression? Like she just found a crush. But Luffy only has eyes for the food. Then, Silk starts telling her story. She's the daughter of pirates, but she was abandoned long ago. Her parents looted the town and left her on the island when they saw the price of baby formula and diapers at the market. But the townspeople decided to raise her, which is why she risked her life to fight. Luffy downs the drink and seems to have ignored everything she just said. Silk says she'll defend the island with everything she's got. And Luffy's face is like, yeah, whatever. She keeps going on with her heroic speech. But Luffy just turns around and leaves, now that he's full. He then laughs because he thought her name was Galley. But her name is actually Silk. Galley is that loser who thinks he can take on Luffy. Silk asks what Luffy did to him. Luffy says he just told him to shave off that ridiculous mustache. Silk gets ready to fight, but Luffy politely steps aside and heads straight for Galley, landing a punch and a kick on him. The other pirates try to grab Luffy, but it's like we're back to episode 1. They don't even come close. Silk says, "You're the real deal, aren't you?" And to show off even more for the brunette, or rather, the blonde, Luffy keeps beating up the background pirate characters. Then Galley's cousin points a gun at Silk, but Luffy doesn't stop delivering hits to them. Just when it looked like Silk was about to be taken down, Luffy punches 2 of them at once right near her. Poor Silk was practically shaking, and she's shocked to see that Luffy's arm stretched out. But Galley says, "You know what? I'll settle this city of God style," pulls out a revolver and shoots at Luffy, shouting, "Die, you freak!" But the bullet stretches, and Luffy decides to return it with interest, only grazing Galley just enough to scare him. Silk, terrified, asks if he's even human. Luffy explains that he ate the Gomu Gomu no Mi, and grins, knowing you just liked the video. Meanwhile, Galley and his goons all scatter like cockroaches. Luffy shows off his moves to Silk, and judging by her expression, it's clear she's fallen for him. Luffy heads back to grab the Mini-Mary, but forgets what he was doing to mess with the mayor, calling the old man a rooster comb. The mayor gets so worked up he calls the whole town to come give Luffy a beatdown. They even manage to tie him up, and the mayor sneers, "Try mocking my hair now, you chicken." They all think Luffy's actually Galley, but then Silk arrives, saying, "Let my man go. He's not Galley, you idiots." Just then, Galley shows up again, figuring now's his chance to steal whatever he wants since Luffy's tied up. But Silk stands face to face with him, ready to defend the town, and her new crush too. Unfortunately, she ends up getting beaten by him. Zoro should really teach her how to solo. Luffy just watches the situation unfold, and Silk yells that she'll defend the town, even if it means she goes broke. At last, Luffy realizes she's one tough lady, while Galley's busy treating Silk like a ragdoll, and laughing because she said the town is her treasure. Even the mayor tells him to shut his mouth. "Stop spewing garbage, you piece of trash." Silk is an amazing woman. She's dedicated, she works hard, helps people, and even started a charity. This blonde is more woman than any other blonde you'll ever meet. And Luffy perks up hearing that. But Lucky's cousin thinks it's time to shut him up, and Galley agrees. But before he can finish off the mayor, he gets annoyed with Luffy, who's now calling him Mustache Punk. And then Luffy lands a solid kick on him. Galley's like, "I told you not to lay hands on me." And Luffy just shrugs, "I used my feet." Honestly, my reaction here too. Galley tries to throw some punches at Luffy, but he doesn't feel a thing. Then he gets a terrible idea. "Guess I'll deal with that hat of yours now." And right there, Galley signs his death warrant, "Crew." Even I'm scared for Galley at this point. But just then, Silk jumps in to protect the hat with her own body. And at this point, I know you're shipping Silk and Luffy now. Galley loses it and throws some macho insults at Silk, then chucks Luffy's hat into the sea. Luffy tries to grab it with his mouth, but Galley kicks him down into the water. "You underestimated Mustache Boy, didn't you, Luffy?" Silk shows up all soaked, after saving our stretchy pirate. And Luffy's ready for a rematch. Since she saved him, it's time to return the favor. He tells her, if she really loves this island, she has to protect it till the end. She clutches her chest because, right at that moment, Luffy managed to reach her heart. "And I'm shipping Silk and Luffy with all my might now." Luffy says, "I'll go get your treasure for you. Oda, make it happen, please." Galley then decides to start shooting at them from a distance, and Silk watches her treasure getting destroyed. So much that it's like she's lost consciousness, thinking she'll never smile again. And she starts blaming herself for not being able to protect the town. But then Luffy yells, like he did with Nami. "Keep smiling! Stop acting all pitiful, geez. Everyone's watching." Luffy jumps up to the roof, launching himself toward Galley's ship. But he gets hit by a cannonball before he even reaches it. Right at that moment, the Sunny shows up, and here's where we see the crew's love for him, since Luffy has been missing for 10 days, leaving them in a mess. But Luffy just says he was almost back. Sanji wants to beat him up for eating everything, but Zoro blames Sanji for not watching the food better. Nami's like, "You idiots actually sent Luffy to get supplies?" In the end, he didn't bring a thing back, so Nami isn't letting it slide. Galley tries to fire at the Sunny, but Chopper deflects the attacks. Zoro slices up a few of them. Sanji kicks other pirates away. Frankie lands a solid punch while Usopp just runs. Robin gently takes down some pirates with her powers. And meanwhile, Nami steals all their treasure. Galley tries to flee since things got intense. But Luffy's like, "Now you're gonna see what's up, little mustache." Nami's already filled her pockets down below. And after Usopp takes out their helm, Luffy jumps in with a gigantic axe attack, smashing Galley's ship with everyone on it, while Silk watches him from afar, smiling. At that moment, Luffy stretches his arm as far as it'll go, delivering that satisfying punch we all know and love, yelling, "This is for Silk." And just like Team Rocket, Galley blasts off into the sky. The townsfolk end up getting back even more than they had before, though I bet Nami's not thrilled about that. Silk feels happy and grateful for having met Luffy, and she hopes that one day, he'll find the One Piece. And if you enjoyed meeting Silk, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more recaps here on the channel. Thanks, and see you next time.